Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating and hope-filled topics in the entire Bible, heaven. People imagine heaven in so many ways, floating on clouds, playing harps, or endless white light. But what does the Bible actually say? The truth is far richer and more exciting than most of us realize. In this video we'll uncover what heaven will really be like according to Scripture, and why it matters for us today. Let's start with a myth, the idea that heaven is just people floating around on clouds forever. That's not the biblical picture. In fact, the Bible speaks of a new heaven and a new earth. Revelation 21:1 says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away." So heaven is not just an escape from this world, it's the renewal of creation. Imagine a perfected earth, restored to what God intended from the beginning. So what will this new heaven and earth be like? Revelation 21 gives us a stunning vision. John writes, "I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband." This is one of the clearest pictures we have. Heaven is described as a city, radiant like a jewel, with streets of pure gold, gates made of pearls, and walls adorned with precious stones. But the most important detail isn't the beauty, it's the presence of God. Verse 3 says, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." One of the greatest promises about heaven is that there will be no more pain or sorrow. Revelation 21:4 says, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." Think about that. No more grief, no more sickness, no more loss. Everything broken will be made whole. That's the hope heaven offers. But what will we actually do in heaven? Some people fear it will be boring, like an endless church service. But Scripture paints a different picture. Heaven will be a place of worship, yes, but also of purpose, joy, and community. Revelation 22:3 says, "His servants will serve him." That doesn't mean busy work, it means we'll live out the fullness of what we were created for, to glorify God in everything. Just as Adam and Eve were called to care for the garden, we'll have meaningful roles in God's renewed creation. We'll enjoy perfect fellowship with him and with each other. And what about our bodies? The Bible teaches that believers will experience resurrection. In 1 Corinthians 15, Paul explains that our current bodies are perishable, weak, and mortal, but in the resurrection, we will be raised imperishable, glorious, and powerful. Just as Jesus rose from the dead with a glorified body, we too will be transformed. Heaven is not about being disembodied spirits, it's about renewed, perfected life in resurrected bodies. Now, here's another important point. Heaven is described as full of light, but not from the sun or moon. Revelation 21:23 says, "The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its lamp." Imagine living in a place where the very presence of God is the source of light and life. No darkness, no night, just the brilliance of his glory. Some also wonder about relationships in heaven. Will we recognize each other? Will we see our loved ones? The Bible gives us strong hints that the answer is yes. In Matthew 17, at the Transfiguration, the disciples recognized Moses and Elijah, even though they had never seen them before. That suggests we'll not only know our loved ones, but also be able to recognize others in God's kingdom. Relationships will be deeper and purer than anything we've experienced on earth, free from jealousy, sin, and brokenness. Another question people ask, will there be nations, cultures, and diversity in heaven? Revelation 7-9 gives us the answer. "I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb." Heaven will not erase our differences, but unite us in worship. It will be a place of unity and diversity, every culture represented, every language praising God together. But perhaps the most important thing about heaven is this: it's all about God as presence. Revelation 22:4 says, "They will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads." Right now, no one can see God's face and live. But in heaven, we will see him face to face. That is the greatest reward, not golden streets or pearly gates, but God himself. So what's the takeaway for us today? First, heaven is not a vague dream, it's a real promise. Jesus said in John 14:2, "In my Father's house are many rooms. I am going there to prepare a place for you." Second, heaven reminds us that this life is not the end. No matter what struggles we face, no matter how broken this world feels, God is preparing something far greater. And third, heaven is not automatic for everyone, it's promised to those who belong to Christ. Revelation 21:27 says, "Nothing impure will ever enter it, but only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life." Heaven is a gift offered through Jesus, and we enter it by faith in him. Here's today's takeaway. Heaven is not clouds and harps, it's the renewal of all creation. The presence of God, the end of pain, and the beginning of perfect joy. It's a reality worth hoping for, living for, and sharing with others. Thanks for watching. If this encouraged you, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more Bible insights. And let me know in the comments what part of the Bible's description of heaven gives you the most hope.